Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. In this, our September 13th, 2021 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including the availability of Zack Snyder's Justice League finally on US release on Blu-ray and DVD. We're going to be talking about the latest episode of Supergirl, comic books, so much more, all coming your way. And we also want to hear from you to get your comments and questions. So to find out how you can get involved and how you can be part of tonight's show, let me introduce you to my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Steve, how are you doing?
Doing well yourself?
I'm doing great. You need to check the homepage.
What's going on?
Well, there's something there for you.
Oh, okay.
There's a news story.
A news story. Okay.
Yes.
Going there right now. Oh, wow, there you go. Who's behind that?
All of us. Patrick, Neil, Scott, like just everybody. We've been planning this actually for well over a year. We got a fantastic artist to do a version of the cover to Superman number 411, where Superman wishes Julius Schwartz a happy birthday. So we got them to draw you and us, and Superman bringing you a cake.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we've been, like I said, we've been working on this for quite some time. It was touch and go there for a while. We were a little nervous. We went through a number of people, but it finally sorted itself out. You should be receiving the original art soon. We were hoping to get it to you by today, so that Carol could come in and give it to you while we were on the show. But no, everybody should be commenting in the chat right now, which I'm having trouble getting to for some reason.
Yeah, we had to do a new stream. Sorry, everyone. I'll get that to you shortly. Put up the proper link on our website. But this is what Michael is talking about. This very nice graphic that they've put together for me for my 50th birthday, which is on Thursday here, the 16th. So very nice of you guys to do that. Surprise me with that. Very nice. That's a great graphic. Yeah, Dexter Weed, very nice guy, great artist. Good to see the guys collaborating on that. That's very nice of you, everyone, to do that. Much appreciated.
Well, we had to. You've been putting up with us for 20 plus years, and giving us a platform to go on to do other things, or just a place to come and talk about Superman. So we all wanted to really just wish you a happy 50th. You only turned 50 once, I'm told. I'm not quite sure about that.
Yeah,
but
so I'm guessing that's you on the top, on the right there.
I'm assuming so. It's weird how easy apparently it is to draw me. This is the second time this year that an artist has done that, and apparently the long hair and the goatee are really, really easy to do.
Yeah.
So
And then I'm guessing that's Neil below you with his little, unless that's him on the left, I'm not sure, but that's cool. That's very nice. Great graphic and much appreciated. Yeah, so it's going to be a weird one this year, turning 50, but we are in lockdown here in Sydney, so where I'm located, can't really do much, can't have anybody over, but it's a milestone nevertheless. And actually, my next Big Blue Report newsletter is about being a Superman fan at 50, and the fact that it's half my life has been spent running this website is a little bit scary as well.
Yeah, I guess that would be kind of strange that you've done something literally for half your life at this point. That's got to be weird. But no, Neil was the one that posted did the post. So we're gonna give him all the credit in the world for that. Let's
He's
see.
in the comments now, so thank you, Neil. Appreciate that for organising that. I know Dexter and Neil collaborate on a lot of graphic novels and comic books that Neil writes together. Yeah, that's very kind of you guys to organise that, and looking forward to my birthday on the 16th. Really appreciate you making that happen today.
I am not seeing. I still don't see it. I'm not going to be able to see the comments tonight, but that's okay.
No, I'll get it. I'll find you the link. I'll get it for you as soon as I'll send you the link. Appreciate that everyone found the new location of the live stream. Obviously, the original one failed, but thank you everyone for tuning in to tonight's live show. I'll get that link for you right now, Michael, so that you'll be able to see all the comments, and we'll continue on with the show. But you want to let everyone know how they can get involved in tonight's show?
Well, it's really simple because Superman Homepage Live is all about Superman, and therefore we want to hear from the Superman fans that are watching us right now live on YouTube. So about halfway through the show, if we don't have too much going on, we want to take live callers. So how do we do that? Well, you're going to need Skype. Go to Skype, find Superman Homepage, and message us that you'd like to be on the show. Now, a couple of things, and these are kind of important. One, message us. Don't just call us because that can screw things up. Also, if you're using an external speaker to watch Superman Homepage Live, I'm still tripping over that name, please mute it because we are in a bit of a delay and that can screw things up.
Yes, indeed. And if you are watching this show live via YouTube, as most of you are, then feel free to post your comments. Michael and I will keep an eye on the comments section there on YouTube. We'll react to your questions, your comments, and continue on with them throughout the show. And if you'd like your comment or question featured on the screen live, then that's called a super chat. All you have to do is click the dollar symbol there on YouTube. A little slider will appear. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate, and we will feature your comment or question on the screen as we go to air. And thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. We appreciate your support. And if you want to support this show, then feel free to click the join button below there on YouTube, or head to patreon.com/Superman homepage. All right, well, we've got all the nice personal tributes out of the way. Appreciate that once again.
You're deflecting them nicely, by the way.
I really am. I'm chuffed. I'm really kind of speechless. That's why I'm moving on to something that I can talk about, so that I don't stumble over my words. But it really warms the cockles of my heart, as they say. I really appreciate you guys for doing that. Makes me feel very special. So let's move on to the Superman side of things, where we did get a home video release finally there in the US for Zack Snyder's Justice League on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, Blu-ray combo pack, and DVD. Took you long enough?
Yeah. I was also seeing that people are accusing them of trying to hide it.
And bury it, yeah.
And bury it. I don't know if I agree with that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But yeah, it did take them long enough to get that thing out there, which is really odd because people want to buy it. You know, I mean, I'm not rushing out to get it, but I have a lot of friends that were really excited to get it. So it's weird that they would spend all this money on it, and then and this cut of the movie, and then just kind of
sweep it under
not want to promote the home video, the home media. Let's say home media from now on. We're going to agree on that as a term.
Yeah, I mean. So the rumors or the speculation or the innuendo that they are burying this came from the fact that the trailer for the home entertainment release of Zack Snyder's Justice League in the US was unlisted. So unless you had the actual address of the YouTube video, you didn't know it was there. You could watch it if you had the link, but it wasn't listed on their feed because for some reason they unlisted it, which is kind of bizarre.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm more thinking that it's a mistake
An oversight.
more than
Hmm.
a nefarious. This is the thing that gets me about the people that are saying they're doing it on purpose. They dumped $70 million
Yep.
into it. Like you don't dump $70 million into something just so you can then bury it later. That doesn't make any sense at all. They're a multimedia company. I'm sure stuff like this happens. The fact that it's been able to get like 80,000 views just on sharing it, though, shows that people are sharing the video. So obviously it's getting out there, and somebody in Warner Brothers needs to just go ahead and change that. However, it's unlisted. What is it? Unlisted. What are the three?
There's public, unlisted, and private.
Okay. Unlisted is weird. That's a weird option.
Yeah, well, see, so for me on the Superman homepage YouTube channel, which we're on right now, sometimes I want to upload videos that are not Superman related for my friends or family to check out, and so I upload a video and unlist it so that friends and family can see the link, but it won't appear on for our subscribers because it's not Superman related, but it's still a video that I want to share, and that's really the only avenue I have to share it. So I can understand that's what the unlisted is for, but for Superman fans, for Warner Brothers, I have no idea.
Yeah, that just it just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't want to sell it. Why would you put it out there and then just for the case of not wanting to make money off of it?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But we just saw a super chat there from Ollie, who asked, "Is the 4K Blu-ray available in digital format as well?" I believe I imagine that would be on Amazon as like a digital version, but I think when you buy the Blu-ray, you get a digital code for that, but it's still available on HBO Max, is it not?
Yes, yeah. They're not. I don't think they're going to take it off of there anytime soon.
So that's obviously your digital location where you can get it if you're a subscriber. But I believe there probably would be a digital code when you buy the physical release as well.
It's usually how it works,
Hmm.
and I find that very convenient. I rarely actually watch the physical media I buy. I just have it just in case.
Yeah.
Or if Rachel wants to watch it with me. Otherwise, I just sit there and kind of download the digital copy onto my phone and watch it at work
Mm-hmm.
on my lunch break.
On your
Not
lunch break, yeah, not during work.
not when I'm sitting there checking customers out. No.
So the epic 4-hour film is now available in the US on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack, Blu-ray and DVD. It was previously listed on Amazon, but I believe that was a import rather than a American, a physically American-made release. All right, so that's Zack Snyder's Justice League. Also this week, Warner Brothers Home Entertainment released the official trailer for the Injustice animated movie, which will be released on Wednesday, September. It will be released on October 19th. It was released on Wednesday, September 8th. This trailer. Check out this trailer for Injustice, the new animated movie coming next month.
Imagine meeting you here, Lois.
This is a priority call to all Justice League members. A woman is missing.
She's one of ours. Her name is Lois Lane.
Lois. My masterpiece.
Brace yourself!
You took his wife. You took his unborn child. And his city. Why?
After all these years, Batsy, you really need reasons from me?
What happened to Metropolis can never be allowed to occur again.
You'll throw away everything the Justice League stands for.
So there you have it. That's the trailer for Injustice, the upcoming animated movie being released on October 19th on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack, Blu-ray and digital. And you can pre-order your copy through our website right now.
Yeah, it looked interesting. It looks like they're skipping the Doomsday thing and having Superman kill Lois and just have her die in the explosion, or that was a little different from what the comic did.
We've got a super chat from Neil Bailey saying, "How do you still manage to look 30 to 20 years later? Where is your Lazarus Pit Eunice?" Thanks, Neil. I don't know if I still look 30 at 50, but I appreciate the compliment.
You know, I'm in all seriousness, I've noticed that most of the people that I know look better like in their 40s and 50s than they did in their 30s, and I don't know how that's possible, but it just seems to be like how things go. It's like basically we're getting healthier later in life.
That's what it is. It's definitely. I look back at myself at 30 and went, "Wow, geez, I had some weight on back then." And I think I went, you know, as you get older, you start getting a little bit more conscious of your health, and you start thinking about, you know, kind of not midlife crisis, but you know, you need to start looking after yourself. And I think I'm probably fitter now at 50 than I was at 30, so that's probably why it attributes to my youthful look.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's really betraying me is the amount of white in my facial hair. But
which is why I shaved my head.
Fair. That's very fair.
All right, so that's Injustice. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're, you know, doing away with the whole Doomsday thing, and but making him think that she was someone other than Lois. But yeah, we'll wait and see whether or not she just, you know, is killed in the explosion, or how that works when the Injustice animated movie comes out next month. All right, let's move on to the TV side of the world of Superman, where the latest episode of Supergirl was titled Still I Rise. It was the 10th episode of season 6, the final season of Supergirl. You gave this episode a 4 out of 5 rating, saying while you didn't enjoy it as much as you did the last episode, this was still a solid and enjoyable one.
Yeah, a little more heavy-handed, but still better than what we had been getting. I think all of the different storylines, especially the Nia scenes with her mother, I thought were really strong. In terms of making me like kind of really connect to the episode. And Nixley's turning into a fun little villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or big villain. I don't know how tall she is.
Well, she's bigger than Mixie. But it was a very interesting episode. For some of the side plots seemed to be a bit more fleshed out. I did think that the whole thing about the building being knocked down or being redeveloped and not being housing for, you know, the ex-cons, if you like, was pretty heavy-handed. It wasn't, you know, there are a lot of people out there who go, I don't like Supergirl, I don't watch Supergirl anymore because it's too political. They're really ham-fisted with delivering the messages that they're delivering, and politics should never be part of Superman or Supergirl stories. That's crap, because Superman and Supergirl, especially Superman, originated with political stories. I mean, all his 1940s stories were about him, you know, trying to bring down corrupt political bosses or corrupt businessmen, or, you know, it was all about politics back in the, well, not all about politics, but it wasn't space aliens and robots and things back then. It was all about corrupt people. And so that's, you can't say that about the Superman Supergirl stories. They shouldn't be involved in politics, because they always have. But I think it's the way Supergirl does it that probably has a lot of people's noses out of joint. Especially this episode, I felt like the woman who had planned for this corporation to take over the building instead of what the original plan was she wasn't evil. It was, in her mind, it was a way that would help the community, and that there would be more jobs, and that they would bring up the prices of local houses and what have you, and it would help the community as a whole. But that is for the haves, not for the have-nots. And I guess it was kind of like it was a hard line to push, because the woman who had these ideas wasn't evil. She just had different ideas.
I think she was played a little too two-dimensionally
Yes.
for the role. I was definitely against her, and because this is something that I've been reading a lot about in recent weeks, because there is a housing crisis here in the United States, where corporations are coming in and buying up property and making it inaccessible for people to buy, and it's basically like trying to get a home right now is hard, because a corporation can step in and offer cash above what the offer is, and has more buying power. But in this case, I think once again, the most unbelievable part of the episode was that they were able to prevail over this.
Mm.
And I'm kind of wondering what would have happened if they lost. Like, is that just something that they then, well, we've got to fight harder next time? Or would it have been disingenuous to Orlando as a character that he loses out on this place to live and is, sleeping on the couch of the person that got him in jail in the first place, which I don't know if he's on parole.
Yeah.
But usually associating with other cons is,
Yeah.
Can get you right back in jail. But no, the woman playing her I like, because she was on a show called Leverage. She was a guest star on several episodes, and I really liked her character on that. So it was kind of cool seeing her here. But like you, I just was more engaged with everything else but what the main plot was about.
Yeah.
I did, though, think that one of the most realistic parts of it was her trying to use social media and it backfiring on her.
Yeah.
Because that kind of stuff happens all the time. I also thought that Ms. Rojas's speech about social media and how a hashtag is a battle cry, I was just like, you sound like an old person trying to explain something new to a younger person who knows exactly what it is already.
Yeah, exactly. But I felt her pain, because we're in that boat where we know how it all works, but yet we still don't know how it really works. It's like
well, yeah, I mean, it's the same. Like, an example. It hasn't happened yet, I think, but you or I could tweet something out, and it's perfectly well-meaning, and suddenly we're being beset from all sides because it was taken out of context. And how do you argue that? Like, the one woman that was just like, this is going to provide stability for me, it's just like, well, how do you, that's true. So this isn't a black and white issue, but they were still kind of treating it as like a good guy versus bad guy thing.
Yeah, that was quite interesting, especially with Supergirl having tried to use social media with Brainy to tell kids to eat their greens, and then that's one way of doing things, but then trying to use social media for something a bit more political can have its potholes and pitfalls.
Yeah, I again, it was Mia that really kind of saved this.
Yeah.
And seeing Kelly and her training and all that.
But the Nixley developments are definitely heating up, and we now obviously saw that Mixie is back. I didn't know that Kryptonians or anybody could just make Mixie appear by calling out for him. I thought it had to be a 90-day thing where he just came back at his own whim. I didn't know that you could call on him.
Yeah, well, maybe it has been 90 days, and he's due for a trip. Though I do like what they're doing with this season where they're ending the episode where the next episode's going to pick up. It kind of really makes it feel like it's one long story instead of kind of doing like a weird cliffhanger or something like that.
Yeah. So we wait for next week's episode, or tomorrow night's episode, I should say. Mixie in the Middle. It is the 11th episode of season 6 of Supergirl, and here are a couple of the images from that episode to look forward to. You obviously see them all in full costume out there, trying to take on Nixley, who is quite devious in her nefarious plots, having tricked Nia into getting her back, and then she kind of put Nia into that 24-hour position where she wasn't able to help her friends while she went about doing what she was doing, while Nia spent time with her mother learning the ins and outs of trying to figure out her dreams.
Is Brainy's makeup like a little too over the top this season?
Just a little.
Last couple of episodes, it seems like really thick and overly green. Like it's maybe it's just me, but I thought they had kind of found a good balance, and now they're kind of tripping over into making it look a little silly again.
A little. We do have the description for the 13th episode of season 6 of Supergirl. It is titled The Gauntlet, and in this episode we have Supergirl and team race Nixley for control of a magical totem that controls courage. Supergirl and Nixley battle and each get a piece of the totem, but learn the first person to pass the test of courage will gain control of the entire thing. Meanwhile, Lena is still struggling to make sense of her newfound gift. Wonder what Lena's...
One of them doesn't sing "If I Were the King of the Forest" from The Wizard of Oz. I'm gonna be really disappointed.
Because we do know that in tomorrow night's episode, Mixie is making a bit of a song and dance show.
Yeah. Looking forward to this episode a lot because I really liked the way they redid Mixie for the show.
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, that's it. That's the Supergirl side of things. We're at the halfway mark of tonight's show. We're going to come back on the flip side to do our fan favorite segment, This Week in History. See how much of a hole Michael's dog has dug in the floor. And
yeah, trying to get in and I can't get over there, so it's kind of a weird thing.
And we'll also talk comic books. We'll be back right after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program, just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/supermanhomepage.
Up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Balmer. I'm the voice of Superman in Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
I'm freezing! Superman!
Uh-oh, sounds like Lisa and Scott are trapped in the icy cave of that frosty-faced villain, Captain Cold. This is a job for Superman.
My fast freeze zapper will freeze Superman forever.
No way, Captain. Here, kids, my new Superman hot cocoa mix is the super tasting way to warm up.
It's really sweet. And chocolatey.
And see, Captain Cold can't take this warm reception. New Superman hot cocoa, the super tasting way to warm up.
And we're back on Superman homepage live, where we're going to now go into our fan favorite segment of our show. Here is our promo. All right, so our fan favorite question from last week was, what is your favorite episode of the 1950s Adventures of Superman TV series? And we had a few people respond to this one. Michael, who were they?
Yeah, the first one was Jack Rocha, who wrote my favorite episode of The Adventures of Superman was Season 1, Episode 12, The Deserted Village. Fun take on the last man on Earth.
So we have a couple of screenshots from that episode. Thank you, Jack. Next up, we have Stephen Marshall, who wrote in saying, my favorite episode of The Adventures of Superman was the pilot. I've watched it several times and I'm still really impressed how they fit the whole origin into 30 minutes. I love how the Kryptonian Council laugh at Jor-El in their Flash Gordon costumes for predicting the planet will explode. It really shows how, even back then, that Kryptonians were arrogant. There's also some really emotional stuff like where Ma tells Clark about who he is and when Pa dies. Sure, it's probably lacking in super action, but there's a save at the end, which is all that was needed. A great pilot. Thank you very much, Stephen. Very well thought out.
Kenny Crowley Jr., not Stephen, because you just read his. Hello, Stephen Michael. My favorite episode of The Adventures of Superman is Panic in the Sky. Captures everything about the Superman Clark Kent, about Superman/Clark Kent. It was one that I saw in reruns on Nick at Night the most back in the 90s, and it was so much fun to see.
Yeah, very cool. Nice episode, that one. Ryan Ignatius Pratt wrote in. He said, I've not seen Adventures of Superman since I was a young child in the 80s, and so unfortunately do not have a great memory of the series, and therefore I'm unable to select a favourite episode. I do, however, vividly remember George Reeves' appearance on I Love Lucy, if that counts. Yeah, it does. And his classic punchline to Ricky at the end of the episode saying, and they call me Superman, when learning that Ricky has survived 15 years of marriage to Lucy. On a different note, I had unfortunately missed last week's fan favourite segment, so I would like to note, if I may, that my favourite Lex Luthor cover would be that from Superman Lex 2000, the one-shot, of which I have attached a picture, and that's the graphic there, which is a very good, cool Lex Luthor cover from last week's fan favourite question.
That is an awesome cover. What's your favourite episode, Steve?
My favourite episode would probably be, because I'm a big Noelle Neal fan and she was such a person who was close to my heart, the Wedding of Superman, in which she has that dream of Lois marrying Superman. That was a fun episode.
Mine will always be the Evil 3 from Season 1, just because it is so bat guano crazy. Lois isn't in it at all, which is odd, but just Perry and Jimmy like running across these three crazy people in the middle of nowhere, and Superman threatening to break every bone in this man's bodies, and the shot of that old woman going down the steps, and the fact that they make an inadvertent Superman reference by having the person that was murdered be named George Taylor.
Yeah.
It's like, what if David Lynch directed an episode of The Adventures of Superman? That's what you get.
And Season 1 was so different in its feel to the rest of the 5 seasons. It was really film noir. It was, very not so much a kids show as seasons 2 and onwards were.
Yeah, and props to everybody that loves the later seasons. Man, that first season is still always going to be my favorite, just because it is. I mean, there's some goofy episodes, but you also have episodes like the one that we talked about earlier, where Lois and Clark are trapped in this town and everyone's acting weird, and like a dog dies in the middle of it, which made me kind of sad. So yeah, was a different time.
Big time, and it's still really cool to go back and watch. And that opening, is just classic and brings back so many fond memories. I mean, obviously, I wasn't alive when it was first on TV, as old as I am. I was. It was still, always on reruns or available to watch somewhere. And now, with YouTube and online, you can just watch so many of the episodes and check out that opening sequence. It's just really classic and iconic.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's jump into what's our new question for this week is.
What is your favorite moment from the movie Man of Steel?
Yeah, jumping from the 1950s right up to 2013. What is your favorite moment from the movie Man of Steel? Of course, starring Henry Cavill. Get involved in the big question segment of our show. The email address is sliding into position now, info@supermanhomepage.com. That's the email address. Send us your response to what your favorite moment is from the movie Man of Steel, and we will read out your responses when we return to this segment next week in the fan favorite segment of our show. All right, let's move on to This Week in History.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bonds of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
Alrighty, got a couple big ones this year. Not the one in 1951. I mean, it was Adventure Comics, 170, which had Lana Lang's Big Crush, which has that kind of adorable Win Mortimer cover of Lana kissing a boy's cheek and making Superboy probably a little jealous because, it was the 50s and they were limited in what they were going to do. But it's 1961, which is one of the big ones. Superman number 149, The Death of Superman. Probably one of the best imaginary stories ever told. Classic cover, really dark story for the time period. Because Superman's still dead at the end of the story. I think that's one of the big things from it. I don't know. Do you like this one?
Yeah, this is a great cover. Very iconic. I remember when I was fishing for the images for today's episode and came across this one. This was like, oh, yes, of course. How can you forget this cover?
Jumping ahead to 1971, we have Justice League of America number 94, which has Sandman and Starman guest starring. That's kind of a creepy cover by Neil Adams. And over in Superman, you have the Superman number 244, the Electronic Ghost of Metropolis. There's also the Superman of 2465, and a Captain Comet story, The Lady or the Tiger Man, which is kind of weird. Jumping ahead to 1991, we have Superman number 61, which is Time and Time Again, where we learn more about the Linear Men, who are going to become more of a thing with Wave Rider and all that. That was a really solid issue. But it's 2001 where we get one that also is inadvertently a controversial issue. Adventures of Superman number 596. Yeah. This came out on September 12th, 2001, and it made national news because there is a scene in it where it shows Twin Towers damaged. And this is the day after September 11th. And my biggest memory from this issue, at the time I was working at a place where I delivered newspapers, and I had to explain comic book distribution to everybody I work with because they didn't know why they didn't pull the issue. They couldn't. The issue was in the hands of the people that were putting it out. So, but it was that's the
image.
That was a bit of a kerfuffle. Yep, that is the image. Yeah, that did not go over well.
It's just crazy that it was, as you said, these things are months and months in the planning for these stories, and before they get to publication, and they go into print, and then they go into distribution. And the day after 9/11 in 2001, this is an image in a comic book that just preempted, what was going to happen.
And I think what it also kind of points to is that while this didn't happen, which is good or bad depending on how you view it, that kind of destruction was seen in comics all the time.
Yeah.
And it's only now that we see something on kind of a real-world version of it. And then maybe it's a little weird because we just passed the 20th anniversary of 9/11. So, yeah, it's a good cover, though. I really like that shirt rip. Also, that same day, Superman Adventures number 61, which was less controversial, as Superman fighting Parasite on the cover. And in 2011, we have Superboy number 1. I have read this issue. I have no memory of what happens inside of it.
Scott Lobdell, New 52.
That just was not a good run of Superboy. In the real world, yesterday marked the 30th. No, not the 30th. Excuse me. I'm wrong about that. The 28th anniversary of Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman premiering. September 13th, 1947, Mike Grell was born. On September 15th, 1922, Jackie Cooper was born.
Jackie Cooper.
And September 16th is a little packed there. You got Tommy Bond, who was Jimmy Olsen in the movie serials, who was born in 1926. Kurt Busiek, who would write Superman Secret Origin and have a short run on Superman in 2007, 2008, was born in 1960. And some guy named Steve Eunice was born in 1971.
Big. I was reading the other day that September is the busiest month for birthdays. And in my family, out of the 4 children, 3 of them are born in September. And then we did the calculation, and it's 9 months after Christmas.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rachel's family is similar except for a different month. Like her dad, her mom, and her brother were all born in June. Now, technically, Rachel was supposed to be born in September, but she was 3 months premature, marking the one and only time she was ever early for anything. I make that joke every single time, but yeah, Kevin Smith has a similar thing with him and his family, where all the kids were born in the same month. September 17th, Bryan Singer was born in 1965, and Roger Stern was born in 1950. And on September 18th, James Marsden was born in 1973. And wow, it's weird to think that he's only 3 years older than me. He's perpetually young.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to age. There's another one.
I mean, it's you and James Marsden. It's amazing.
Excellent. That was This Week in History. Very cool. Thank you for doing that, Michael. A busy week in the real world, especially.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're going to continue on, and we spoke about Supergirl. We spoke about the movies. We spoke about TV stuff. There is now on the comic book side of the world. Brian Hitch let slip via his Twitter account that he is going to be collaborating once again with writer Mark Waid on an upcoming Superman project for DC's Black Label imprint. This is an interesting story. What do we make of the... before we get into that, the Black Label imprint is a mature label, so it's not for kids. This is going to be a 3-issue, 46-page per issue, larger Prestige Plus format series. Mark Waid back on Superman.
I don't see Mark Waid doing something that... I don't see him doing something like adult in the terms of like nudity or language.
No. Yeah.
I can see him using that format to tell like a mature Superman story, and mature in the correct use of the term. But him teaming up with Brian Hitch, I don't see a downside to that. I've liked just about every time Mark Waid has dealt with Superman. I've enjoyed that. So, Mind the Gap points out that Black Label does not mean mature audiences. It is kind of more of a prestige label as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not mature for mature audiences in that it's, like you said, it's, salacious or anything that people younger cannot read. I think it's more probably the price um, it puts it out of the range of younger audiences. It's more of a, like you said, a prestige format that is more, yeah, more expensive is probably the way I'd put it.
Yeah, and again, I this seems like something that I would want to wait till the whole thing's collected instead of buying it issue by issue, just because it would be more economical that way. And then you get the whole thing at once, which I also like.
Yep, so we'll look forward to seeing what more is revealed about this new project by Mark Waid, with Brian Hitch doing the pencils and Kevin Nolan doing the inks. And that is a pretty top-notch crew there coming on board, wherever this may lead us. So we'll wait and see what happens there, and continue to bring you the details as they are revealed. Well, let's check out what comic books are available this week in the world of Superman, and this is what you have to look forward to if you are a comic book reader. We have Challenge of the Super Sons number 6, the print edition, which is available in a variant cover. We also have Justice League Last Ride number 5. That is available also in a variant cover right there. We also have Justice League number 67, and that is available in this variant cover. Also out this week, and this is probably the big one for Superman fans, Superman and the Authority number 3, the third issue of the 4-issue miniseries, and that is also available in a variant cover right there. And then if you're a Titans fan and a Superboy fan, Titans United, the first issue of a new 7-issue miniseries, is available in one Nightwing variant cover and this alternate variant cover right there. And then on the collected side of things, we have the new printing of Fourth World by Jack Kirby Omnibus hardcover available this week. And that is what you can check out in the world of Superman fan comic books this week.
Yeah, the trade dress on those, the latest Jack Kirby collections they've been putting out are kind of interesting. That's a really good cover to choose from. That's from a house ad that DC did back in the 80s. So glad that they're reprinting those things and putting them out again. I didn't get to buy it last time, so I may actually pick it up this time.
Very cool. We mentioned last week, and you spoke at length about the convention panels that you participated in at Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia. And thanks to Supergirl Radio and DC TV podcasts, you happened to get one of your friends to video the full 1-hour panel of your Superman Battle Royale of Media Supermen panel that took place on Saturday, September 4th. That's really cool to see that complete panel on video for people to watch.
Yeah, I recorded the audio from it because I don't do video on my own. I can't say I don't do video because
here you are.
But Rebecca has always been really good about videotaping the panels that she's on. And since she was on that and I happen to be on it, it's nice that it's kind of out there for people to watch, because it was a really good discussion. You had a broad range of Superman fans. You had, Snyder fans and Hecklin fans and Christopher Reeve fans, and George Reeves' name came up, and all that. And we had what it proved is that you can get 4 Superman fans on a stage and you can fill the room, because that room was pretty packed with fans as well, and it doesn't have to turn into a bar brawl.
Yeah, you can agree to disagree on some subjects.
So, but yeah, I appreciate you posting that up there, because I had not gotten a real chance to look at it. And my biggest takeaway is Mike needs more time at the gym, but I'm working on it.
No, but it was really cool to I mean, you're very relaxed, as you always are when you're talking about Superman, and very knowledgeable. And you had the crowd laughing at your introduction, especially when you just rattled off all the things you're involved
Yeah.
in. And so that was quite cool that everyone was really invested in listening what was going on. So really happy to see that was recorded and available for fans to watch who were unable to attend.
Yeah, and the best thing about DragonCon panels is the best panels, the best fan panels are the ones where the audience is participating, and we got that. It's a conversation. It's the people on stage are kind of leading the discussion.
Yeah.
But the people in the audience are just as important, and we want to hear what they have to say too, because sometimes that can make the people on stage have to either defend their position better, or maybe change their mind about something.
Indeed. So we do have time for a call, and I believe that our friend Mark Lax is up for a discussion. So I'm going to try to bring him in for a couple of minutes chat to have a gab with us about what's going on with him in the world of Superman this week. So trying to get Mark on the line right now. Hello, Mark.
There he is.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, doing well. What's happening with you this week?
Well,
firstly, before you jump in, can I give my condolences to you for the loss of some very precious collectibles and items in your collection? You were obviously impacted by the hurricane there, and have lost quite a large part of your Superman collection due to the flooding and things like that. So, commiserations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was I would say about a good 80% of my collection is gone.
Oh, wow.
I mean, everything. I mean, the Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, everything I had. I think all my Death of Superman through Reign of Superman. I mean, it's all gone. It's all gone. So, what can I say? Unfortunately, I live in a condo, and there's not a lot of places, to put my comics, so I had to put it in storage, which was downstairs. We lived here 16 years and got, thank God nothing happened, and then suddenly we had this storm, and it just 4 feet of water in the basement, and everything was just gone, basically. So, I mean, yeah, it's heartbreaking that people had it worse. I lost my car too, but yeah, but
yeah, thoughts go out to you, and I'm just glad that everybody's okay as far as your family is concerned.
Yeah.
And, things can be replaced, but people can't.
Exactly.
So, what's been on your mind on the Superman side of things this week?
Well, in fact, I just read the Superman Son of Kal-El #2. You know what? I read the first 2 issues. I gotta say, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not to say it was going to be bad. It's just, it's not the Superman we wanted, but I have to say it was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And and the action stuff isn't too bad either. I mean, who knows where they're taking it? I've been reading Infinite Frontier, which I'm enjoying too, and who knows? They mentioned another crisis, but I just, right now I just want to read something that I enjoy, whether or not it's going to be continuity or in continuity, not, whether it's going to be something that, oh yeah, that's my Superman or not my Superman, as long as it's fun and enjoyable.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Son of Kal-El has been an interesting comic book. It's definitely different to other stories that we've read, being that it's Superman's son and what's in store for him and what that means. But Tom Taylor's a great writer, and he always does a really good job of what he's being given and the material that he's got in front of him.
Yes, absolutely. He finally got a Superman book to do.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens in the future. But right now I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, very cool. Well, it's great to hear from you, Mark. I wish you all the best with the recovery process there at home, and
thank you.
Hang in there. We're all thinking of you.
Yep. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, Mark. Talk to you again soon.
Take care, Mark.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. So that was Mark Lax. As I said, our thoughts and prayers go out to those people who are affected by. I don't like using that term, thoughts and prayers, because it's really it's a hollow thing to say.
A
We'd
lot
love
of
to do
people have
more.
made it hollow, so you're
Yeah.
not wrong on that. I do think it's amusing, and the people watching the video can't see it, but I can see it on my end. Is it? Skype has a weird way of giving acknowledgement that someone has left the call, because it says that you kicked Mark out of the call, and I'm like, you didn't kick Mark out of anything. Mark, he left. I mean, that seems like you were being mean. What's up, Skype?
Yeah, a better way of doing that. All right, well, that pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's episode. Again, apologies for the start of this episode where we had to go on a different stream than what was advertised, but I'm glad that everybody found us. I want to thank everyone again for that really kind message, that great image of the happy birthday thing for my upcoming birthday, to organise it for tonight's live show. That's brilliant. Thanks to you, Michael. Thanks to Neil. Thanks to all the guys and girls involved in having that ready for my upcoming birthday on the 16th. Really appreciate that. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, like I said, the original should be heading to you very soon.
Appreciate that. And thank you to all those who participated in tonight's episode. Thanks to everyone in the YouTube comments. We appreciate your involvement in the show. And thanks to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And thank you to you, my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
And remember, if you missed part of tonight's show, tuned in late, want to catch the full episode in full, you can do so at supermanhomepage.com and also on our YouTube channel. But Michael and I will be back next week. I'll be a year older then, but we will be back on Monday, September 19th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another edition of Superman Homepage Live. Look forward to talking to you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching it's not WGBS anymore. It's Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com.